JSTOR is one of the Helmke Library's premier databases. I like it a lot. It's really good for cultural topics, things like tattoos and anthropology. I just spent this morning 5 whole minutes searching for something on fashion. It just really is a kind of an eclectic database. It has articles ranging from architecture. I already mentioned like the history of tattoos, anthropological origins of tattoos. Would you guess that there are relationships between fashion and democracy and gender? And JSTOR explores these kinds of things. And JSTOR is a very easy to use database. It's very friendly. Academic Search Premier, also known as EBSCOhost, is terrific. Not quite as friendly and has different kinds of articles, but it's always worth going to. But my go-to database is JSTOR. So let's jump into that and let me show you how it works. So you always go to the Helmke Library homepage. Don't forget, this is although it's an online class, we're not doing, quote, internet research, we're doing library research. I'm required in this course to teach you library research. And libraries are fantastic. I can't tell you enough how good they are, of course. And then Helmke Library is a brilliant library. I've seen lots of online libraries. The Helmke Online Library is absolutely fantastic. That said, you don't have to go to the library physically to do this, okay? In this class, this is an internet course, okay? It's distance learning. And then two, all the resources that would be physically in the library, they're actually more available online even. And then three, we're not using books so much for research papers. I mean, books are great. They certainly have their place, right? But don't forget, books go quickly out of date, right? What we're really using are articles, academic articles. So that's what we're looking for in this case. So basically, go to the homepage. It's library.ipfw.edu, very simple. And down on the bottom right hand, sort of in the middle, but right hand, down at the bottom, click on where it says View All Databases. That's going to take you to the entire list of Helmke databases. Database, by the way, I should back up and tell you, is not like Google. Google is wonderful. I use Google all the time. I use Wikipedia all the time. But Google and Wikipedia, any moron can put anything they want up on Google. They can do the same to Wikipedia, okay? There's plenty of bogus information on Wikipedia. It kind of slips through the cracks. I mean, there are editors and people looking out for it, that kind of thing. But a lot of stuff does slip through the cracks. With databases, that's not the case because all the database articles are peer-reviewed. You cannot get an article into a library database unless a variety of other people, other experts in that particular field have signed off on it. And that's the difference between a database and Google, okay? I don't want to belabor that point, but it's very, very critical that you understand databases and that you get reliable information. So you go to the index of databases and obviously you click on the J's. And then what's really cool is the list of J's comes up, and if you look at the JSTOR down at the bottom there, you'll see there is a tutorial available for it. So whatever I've told you here, if it's not quite enough, click on that tutorial and let JSTOR actually walk you through using their own database. So in this case today, I was interested in the concept of fashion. I was looking at top 10 lists, and one of the students said, wow, I'm really interested in fashion, particularly fashions of the 50s. So I said, wow, what's wrong with that for a research article? I'm really open to a lot of things as long as you prove to me you've done the research. Now the trick is, of course, how do you find a focus, all right? And sometimes doing the preliminary research is a good way to find the focus. You can't just write a 10-page article on fashion, right? That becomes just a Wikipedia entry, okay? You have to find something very narrow and really dig into it. So when I typed in fashion, of course, I found almost 500,000 results. That's way too many. But usually the first couple of pages of results, first 10, 20, or 30 are your best results anyhow. The nice thing about JSTOR is you can often find the articles as PDF files. PDF files are really, really, really terrific. They're an actual photocopy of the document, which is cool because it means you have page numbers. And page numbers are really nice. It makes in-text citations much easier when you have page numbers. So my suggestion now would be to click on the title of the article because it's going to give you several options. So let's do that. Voila, there's the article, kind of the view you get when you click on the title of the article. And if you'll notice, over on the right, it gives you a bunch of options, of which several are of creating the citation. You can let JSTOR do the citation for you. And then also right above where I circled in red, you can click and that'll actually download the article for you as a PDF file. You can save it to your computer. Now what I like to do is I'll save a bunch of things to my computer, and I'll make sure that I have kind of glanced at the articles to see if they're really relevant. And then the ones that I think are the most relevant, I will print out and go through them with a highlighter and highlight the kinds, particularly the quotes. You're always looking for good quotes from an article. You're looking not facts and figures, okay? Facts and figures you can just paraphrase. You can still cite them, okay? But you can paraphrase them. Don't quote facts and figures. Don't quote the obvious stuff, okay? But when an expert says, you know, on the one hand this, and on the other hand that, and the reason this is because, that kind of thing, that's what you want to be quoting. And a good research paper has got plenty of quotes from your sources because it creates life in your paper, and it also creates authenticity. You're not the expert, okay? You need to show the reader that you've consulted the experts to create this authentic, convincing paper, this authentic, convincing point of view that I'm causing you to write about, okay? The whole deal is with this research paper is you're writing an argument. You're not writing a Wikipedia entry. You're writing an argument in which you're saying that, hey, this is why I believe this. This is why this is the best course. This is why this is important. That's kind of an argument, not a fight between your parents, okay? But a position that you're taking and that you're arguing in favor of that position. And because you're not the expert on that position, right, you have to show the reader by using commentary from the experts to prove to the reader that, hey, you are on the right track here. So let me just briefly show you the summary. Search early, search often, okay? Good research paper requires a lot of searching. Work on key lists. Don't use long phrases. Google responds pretty well to long phrases like, you know, what makes an automobile engine run. Okay, you can't do that. You have to find keywords for database articles. So in this case, this particular student was interested in fashion, so I just said fashion. Let's see what we get. Okay, you tend to get too much with just one word, but I could say fashion and 1950. For example, and that would bring us kind of to the office, or to, yeah, do I mean the office? No, I mean Mad Men, bring us to the Mad Men era, all right? So think of keywords, connect them by and, or many of the databases let you have several fields. You could apply one keyword to one field, and then another keyword to another field, and that would bring you the articles that were narrow to that second keyword. Be patient. There's a steep learning curve here. If you've never used a database before, I've always had students say, well, databases don't work for me or for my topic because I can't find the articles I need. That's not true. The articles are there. You just have to keep searching and keep sort of getting better and better at it. So just understand there's a learning curve. It doesn't come easily at first, but it gets easier the more you do it. It's like practice. It's like the first time you go jogging. It's not very easy, right? But after you've been jogging for a couple of years, 6-7 miles is nothing, right? I like to say look for PDF articles. They're really cool. They download very nicely, and they actually have the real page numbers, which is invaluable for your in-text citations. And then let JSTOR do the citing for you. For your works cited list, let JSTOR do that, okay? I showed you in the previous slide where you can click, and it'll actually create the citing for you. So, okay, that's enough on this.